Remember, you will trigger or inspire someone just by being yourself. Hey, it's Heather Chauvin, wife, mother of 3 boys, former social worker, breadwinner, recovering hustler, and stage 4 cancer survivor. I'm not a fan of that term, by the way. Beyond all of these titles and labels, I'm a human being, just like you, attempting to navigate it all while feeling good. My goal on this podcast is to show you that you can live an energized, sustainable life both at home and in your work. It doesn't matter if you stay at home full-time, if you work from home, you're a CEO, a successful business owner, or trying to find some inspiration. On this show, I attempt to keep it real with stories, interviews, and random thoughts. This is not a business or career podcast, and it's not a parenting podcast. It's both and so much more. You will laugh. You may even cry, and you may even get a little frustrated with the truth you've been hiding from yourself. I believe all human behavior is a language, whether it's through your child's behavior, your health, or a relationship. And when we learn to listen instead of react, we begin to understand what it truly means to feel alive and in control. It's time to put your big girl pants on and find your brave. Let's go. Okay, ladies, I'm back, and today is Friday Reflection. So I often try to put out a Friday reflection, which just reflects on my week. It's almost like a verbal entry, diary entry, where I'm thinking about what was the theme for my week. And most of the time, sometimes it's not very positive or uplifting, and you just have shitty weeks and you're just plowing through. But most of the time, I think about what were the general conversations that I had with myself, because I do talk to myself a lot, other people, my children, my clients, my husband. What did I notice out in the world? And I think it's really interesting to do these Friday reflections because it forces me to sit back and actually think about my week. And that alone in itself, I think, is really important for us to just stop and think and ask, how often do I stop and reflect on what was showing up for me this week? So one of the conversations I had with a client, which I had with my son, which I had with my husband, which I've definitely had with myself over the years many, many times, is this notion of people pleasing. It is extremely common as human conditioning, that oftentimes we are not taking action on something because we are afraid it is going to disrupt, make somebody else uncomfortable, or maybe piss them off. But here's the thing. I believe that if you have a desire, so that desire could be something as simple as, I want to go on vacation. I want to go for a walk. I want to take a bath. I want to drink a glass of water. I want to buy myself a new pair of shoes. I want to cut my hair. It could be crazy things. I want to quit my job and start a business. I want to become a singer when you are a corporate law attorney. I have no idea. Law attorney? Oh gosh. I have no idea. My point is, oftentimes, we are not acting on our desires. We're not even giving ourselves permission to say, who do I want to be in this world? Who do I want to be in this life? Because we've been told for many, many years that we cannot be that person. And depending on your gender, depending on your sexual orientation, depending on the culture that you grew up in, depending on the color of your skin, you have different cultural beliefs on how you need to show up in the world, depending on your socioeconomic status, education, like so many things, right? There's these boxes and expectations that you've been that have been predicted for you. And so the true path to freedom is to say, who do I want to be? This could be something as simple as wanting to parent differently. So I tracked a lot of women who are into conscious parenting or mindful parenting, and this just means that you want to parent in a way that feels good to you. You don't want to be disciplining your children all the time. You do not want to be screaming and yelling, and you don't want to feel guilty all the time. And oftentimes, the way that we were parented was a very negative, traumatic, fear-based way to parent, where you're putting your children in timeouts all the time. You might be spanked. You might, be grounded all the time. And there's so much more that you need to learn about interpersonal relationships and emotional intelligence. And when you start to put on that hat and that mindset, what you begin to realize is by becoming the person that you desire to be in the world, you will either trigger or inspire others around you. And because our brain has a negativity bias, and what that means is your brain is designed and conditioned to choose the negative over the positive. So I'll give you a perfect example. iTunes podcast reviews. I actually don't have that many. So if you would like to leave me a review, I truly appreciate it. Because I never ask for them. But I think I had one review that was like 1 star. And the person was angry because I used the F-bomb too many times. I say fuck a lot. So fuck. I've actually gotten way better. I used to say it a lot, and I don't anymore. So anyways, I got a negative review because someone didn't like the F-bomb. And then I get all these 5-star reviews and people saying, Heather, you've changed my life. I get messages, emails, and my brain goes to the 1-star review. Like, I know I'm not the only person in the world that this happens to. I listen to a lot of people, especially the ones, like, I look up to them. They're like, oh my gosh, you put out a book in the world and you're looking at that damn 1-star Amazon review and you can't fall asleep at night because you're just looking at those comments. I mean, you're going to inspire or trigger people just by being you, right? Because most likely the person that is giving you a comment is not a podcaster. They are not somebody hosting their own podcast show, or that person commenting negatively on your book never had the courage to write their own damn book, right? So that's the whole point of what Brene Brown talks about in her book, Daring Greatly. It's not the critic who counts, it's the person in the arena. Someone in the nosebleed section who says, you suck, has never even attempted to do what you do. So here's the thing. When you begin to take action, and it is always scary, it can be any action. You might say, listen, you're putting the kids to bed tonight. I'm not doing it. You're going to cook dinner tonight. I'm not doing it. Hey, I'm going to go on a vacation by myself. I'm not doing it. I'm going for a walk. Anytime you disrupt your natural pattern, anytime you disrupt your natural pattern, you will either inspire others to do the same or you will trigger them. Here's another thing. Randomness. Totally random. This year, I got hair extensions. It was an opportunity presented to me, and my hair is super, super thick and it's growing. 6 years ago, when I lost my hair and I shaved my head, one of my goals was to have super, super long hair, like in my life. So when it grew back, I just kept growing it, and I cut it as needed. But I've always had this desire to have really long hair. But everyone always told me, Heather, there's no way we can put extensions in your hair because it's just too thick. And I met this beautiful woman named Renee, maybe she might be listening, and she owns a salon in Burlington, Ontario called Salon Wisp, WISP. So go check her out. And you can check her out on Instagram too. And Renee and I have become really good friends. And we were having a conversation. She's like, Heather, you can 100% get extensions. And I was like, well, if I do, I want it to look good. And I'm just going to try it out. So she went ahead and I got them installed in my hair. I had the most resistance to doing this because I had a desire. I wanted to try it. I wanted it to be fun, right? My theme of the year is how good can it get? But so many stories that I had in my mind. And the stories that I had in my mind were, what are people going to think of me? Are they going to think that I'm self-absorbed? Are they going to think that I'm materialistic? Are they going to think all of these things of me? Because I just, I'm a humanitarian and I love people, and I would probably shave my fucking head again. Like, I don't, my identity is not wrapped up in my hair. Although, yes, it's cool and I love it and I feel great, but realizing we are more than our hair, right? We're more than our clothes. We're more than our roles. Like, there's so much more on the inside. So I had this conversation with Renee many, many times because I felt, I don't know. I was judging myself because I was afraid that other people are going to judge me. And I know that they are. But I cannot tell you how many people have said to me, oh my God, I love your hair. And I would say, thank you. And they'd go, tell me about it. Like, where did you get them? What kind of extensions are they? And blah, blah, blah. Even if it wasn't the extensions, by doing that, right? Some people are like, wow, Heather, didn't expect that from you. It gave them permission to go buy themselves, I don't know, new underwear or a new bra, or to do something to make them feel good. So if you have a desire, right? I have a desire to change the world. I have a desire to make an impact in women's lives. And then I have like materialistic desires, like getting hair extensions or buying some new shoes, or I don't know, whatever it is. It's just ridiculous. We all have different desires. And the stories that we tell ourselves that, one, get in our way, but also the stories that other people tell themselves about who they need to be in the world will either inspire or trigger them. You will inspire or trigger people. So that is today's Friday reflection. Being on the other side of saying yes to some of my desires that really I was resisting doing has made me feel more whole, has made me feel more complete. And my hair, for example, it's fun, it's playful. It's, let's try it out. Who cares? Right? For many, many years, I was living in survival mode in my life. And now it's like, I've worked my ass off to get to where I am. Why can't I just treat myself? Be you. The more you act on those desires, the more you will realize and see that those that want to come closer to you and say thank you, because you took that brave, courageous action, I am going to do the exact same thing. Those are the comments. Those are the people that we have to focus on. And the people that say, must be nice. Oh, yeah, well, only you can do that. Or my husband would never let me. My partner would never let me. Oh my gosh, my children, they would just die if I left for a night. They're projecting. And you know what? Who cares? Who cares? Because there are many things that other people do that I just don't care about. They don't trigger me because it's just not my thing. So understand that other people who trigger you, that's a wound for you to work on. We are constantly triggered or inspired by other people. So the more you be in the world, the more in alignment, the more you trust your gut, the more you say yes to what lights you up and helps you feel alive, this is when you fall asleep at night feeling content. Just know, you have all the power to make those choices. So I'm going to challenge you to go out there in the world and inspire people and trigger people just by being yourself. According to a study published on Fast Company, conducted at the University of Kansas, women are burning out at an alarming rate, even before having children. And that number rises with the additional responsibility of raising a family. And the gap between ambition and putting themselves in a position for promotion isn't going anywhere. Why, you ask? The world needs more empowered mothers, women who are willing to unlearn everything that they've been taught, women who are courageous enough to feel good and not feel guilty for it. I am living proof that you can feel alive, energized, peaceful, and put yourself on your own damn to-do list and make an even bigger impact in your children's lives and those around you. I want to show you how to think, how to act, how to behave, so you can step into that version of you that has been screaming for your attention. And the best part is, all you have to do is take the next step and invest 2 minutes of your time and book a complimentary call with someone on my team to see if my community and coaching is the right fit for your big vision. The relationships you desire, the money, time, and energy that you know deep down you are capable of creating. So head on over to heatherchauvin.com/let's talk. That's Heather Chauvin, CHAUVIN.com/let's talk. LETSTALK. And take the next step in the right direction. You are here because you were born to make a difference. Taking a stand for how you feel means you are taking a stand for how your children show up as adults. You've got this. Let's go.